Yeah, well, I said I've always been quite envious of that. That freedom to be able to move around. I think it's really cool. It's different.
And I've only been on the East Coast, like travel wise. I've never been anywhere like. Well, I went to like Ohio, but that probably still counts as like East Coast-ish kind of. I haven't been like anywhere west. I haven't been in Nashville. I haven't been anywhere like.
And I've been here for a year. He hasn't visited me once.
There's like a pandemic going on, but I haven't been like California at all. I kind of like just want to go there to see. Just hopefully there's no like earthquake or like 3 volcanoes or something going off at the same time.
Hey, listen, they don't have tornadoes, so you got that.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. So we have like this other podcast called Breakfast Talk, and the first time we ever tried recording it, there was like a tornado that was like literally happening outside of his house.
Wow.
Yeah. So like we were trying to record it, and then like I guess the powers of the world, like universe, didn't want it to happen. So
against you. Yeah.
The video like just disappeared because this transformer like went out because we were recording through OBS. And
on my computer.
Yeah. So then it went from like his face, like he was talking, and then it just went blank, and then me and like Hector, that he does it too, from New Leaf, and we're just like, did he just die? What's happening?
I did.
Yeah. And it was just like wind was going one direction, and then if you look on the other side of the house, it was going the other. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't get that. We get a lot of rain. Like it drizzles a lot. But saying that, with climate change, it hasn't been. It's been quite mild. So
Yeah, that was one of the things. I got this cool book called Discrimination and Disparities, and it like just kind of talks about a lot of what's it called? How like things are more rare than you think, or more like clustered than you think. And one of the things was that like 90% of all the tornadoes in the world happen in the U.S. and like more lightning strikes in Africa than Europe and Asia combined.
Wow.
And then what was it? There's more biodiversity in one pond in the Amazon rainforest than there is in all of the lakes and all of the rivers of the UK islands.
Sounds that last one. I mean, we have ducks. We kind of have ducks and swans, and that's about it, really. There's not an awful lot else. Maybe a heron every now and then. You might get like one random heron just chilling.
So that's why the UK travel. That's why the UK was starting to like travel and take other places. Like, this place sucks. Let's go someplace else. We've got ducks. These guys got like eagles and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the duck could definitely be like the UK national animal. Just like very unthreatening. Just quite a friendly animal. Doesn't really do an awful lot. But yeah.
And you guys don't even eat that much duck, do you?
Much debt?
I was saying you guys don't eat much duck, do you?
Oh no, not really.
You got so many ducks. What a waste.
Well, all the swans belong to the Queen.
Oh yeah.
So you're not actually allowed to like. I don't know about ducks. I don't think she cares so much about the ducks, but you're not allowed to go after her swans.
So weird.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a random one. But yeah.
I now own all of the books. They're my books.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, the Queen gets to keep this one. Cool.
It's like some of those like weird like laws that are in like different states around here. Like I think in Alaska you can't bring a kangaroo into a barbershop. Where are you gonna get a kangaroo?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Tennessee it's illegal to share your Netflix password.
Oh, really? That's so weird.
It's like the only state that's a law too. It's funny. I don't know why.
What state is that?
Tennessee.
Oh, really? Illegal to share your Netflix password?
That's wow.
Okay.
Yeah, there's dumb laws. Like there's some states where like it's illegal to shower on a Sunday because it's like they're written from like the 1800s when there was like lack of water supply and they needed to save it for like the church or whatever. Like
right.
Yeah.
It's probably not enforced nowadays though, right? I'd hope not anyway. Like
Yeah,
you know, your police like busting in like SWAT teams, you know, armed to the teeth because you're having a shower on a Sunday morning, you know.
Yeah, there's some other state, I don't remember what state it was, but it's something like you can't bathe with a donkey.
I mean, it's probably a good rule for life anyway, you know.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea, but I think it's one of those ones that's weird, but it's probably something like water conservation. People would like be like, "Oh no, I'm just showering, and my donkey that I needed to clean just happened to jump in the shower, so I'm cleaning him."
I remember one. You can't chew gum on the subway in Singapore.
Singapore.
That's what it's called. If you, I don't.
You can't chew gum in the city. No, you can't chew gum in the entire city. They'll like if they used to have this really bad gum problem, so they'll like arrest you.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I don't know. It seems a little bit too much, you know.
Yeah,
like just
the top. You think
let the people have their gum. I mean, I'm a gum chewer. I like to chew gum.
If you got like 6 foot roll of like Hubba Bubba or whatever that is.
Yeah, what if it's like bubblegum tape? What if I'm just like, no, I'm just tape in my mouth? That's all.
End up going down for having like a couple of packs of Wrigley's just like spearmint on you or something. I don't know.
Yeah. We got him.
Spending years in prison, like in Singapore, like just.
It's like, what'd you do? It's like I murdered the whole family. It's like, what'd you do? I got some Wrigley's. Oh my God, get away from this man. He's crazy.
It is, man. I'm sure, I can't remember the actual law, but I'm sure in Bath, which is in England, obviously, there's some rule about crossbows, about how I think you can have a crossbow. I'm not really too sure. Like, I'd have to look it up for sure. But yeah, like you were saying, like just like these weird old laws that, you know, no one's obviously got the time to go back and just be like, you know what, we can probably do away with that now, you know.
I don't know what you're saying, but there's some like old saying that's like, you know, the government like never removes laws, they only add them. It's like honestly, like that's like one of the things I think every country in the world needs is like a law audit, like just to like go through all the laws and be like, yeah, this one, I don't know if we need to worry about, you know, spiders anymore. We kind of have houses, you know, like that we all, you know, can deal with. Like kangaroos, like they're not even allowed on planes. How are they going to get to Alaska? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, that lawmakers, that's strange stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your Kickstarter. So.
yeah, back to that. Like, we went off on a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah, we do that. So, like, are you thinking of doing another one next year? Or
we'd like to. We've sort of discussed, like, we're not too sure whether to do like because 4 and 5 are written, like issues 4 and 5. 4 and 5, 5 and 6 they're all written, and yeah, I mean, it would just depend really, because obviously as you know, both our lives get sort of busier, like, you know, how life can be. Just depends how much time, you know, I can, you know, pump out an issue fairly quickly, whereas, you know, Ben having to go over and do it all, you know, it just sort of just depends on how it fits in with his life. But yeah, I mean, we've got some sort of, as you were saying before, like around, you know, like issue 6 for you could be like a whole thing all by itself. But we kind of try to, we're hoping that the first sort of story arc as such for Secret Protectors could kind of round off at around issue 10 or 12. I'm not too sure. I like the idea of 12 because then we'd have like 3, you know, sort of volumes, so to speak, because, you know, volume 1, 2, and 3. But I don't know, like if I can try and get it done in 10, I also don't want to sort of string things out further longer than what they have to be. But I mean, we've got, you know, in my head, I've got probably like 6 or 7 story arcs sort of plotted out that would all probably take a similar amount of issues to tell. But yeah, I mean, if we could get that first like whole story arc done, I mean, that would be, you know, more. I mean, what we've achieved already is more than what I ever could have sort of dreamed to be honest. When we set out, I mean, I know it isn't, you know, it's not, you know, setting any records, but the last Kickstarter we had, I think it was 107 backers, which for us was incredible, you know, like, and, you know, obviously we're like proper small fry, you know, but to have 100 100+ people say, yeah, you know, I want to, you know, back it. Hopefully they'll read it as well. But, you know, just, you know, to have 107 people just, you know, back it, you know, something that you know, started doing, you know, 3 years ago, it's really humbling. If that, you know, like you just think, wow, like, you know, there's growing a little bit of an audience, you know, it's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, some people don't even get like their second issue out, so yeah. Well,
it definitely feels good though to get like people that support you, because like, you know, it's like one of those things like even if you don't care about money, when someone supports you with money, it shows that they really do like care or believe, you know, in whatever you're doing. So it's definitely a nice feeling.
Yeah, I mean, if I won the lottery and I could retire handsomely with, you know, loads of money in the bank, I would still want to tell this story, and I would just do it for free. Like with you, like you probably, like, you know, if you had all the money in the world, you'd still want to tell this story. It's just the means in which you could tell it would obviously be greater. But, you know, you obviously have to work within your means. So, you know, if we could afford to do it for free, 100% I would, because I just love telling the story. You know, it's you know, probably one of the things that when you, I mean, I haven't sort of sat down and had to do anything story-wise just for a little while, because obviously, you know, we've been busy doing this Kickstarter. But when I actually think about the characters and the story, that's what sort of excites me and drives me on to like want to carry on doing it, you know. And I'm sure it's probably the same with you guys. I mean, I think anyone that's got, you know, I kind of feel like creativeness, regardless what it may be for any particular person, you know, you might play an instrument, you know, you might, you know, obviously draw, you know, write poetry, whatever it may be, you know, having that outlet is, you know, that chance to express yourself, I think is really important. I think a lot of people nowadays, like, I know people are busy, you know, because you have like, you know, full-time work, etc., but just taking that time just to do something a little bit creative, I think is actually really rewarding, even if it's just for you, even if it doesn't go out to anyone, you know, even if you're just writing, you know, whatever, like a short story for yourself or something, you know, using your imagination, you know, I think it is like really positive, a really good thing for people to do.
Yeah, that's definitely good, because like, even though I can't draw comics yet, I am still like learning how to do it, just because like it's fun to be able to create stuff.
Yeah, we're actually trying to figure out, we're creating a thing on our website in December that we're going to be using starting next year. And it's for like a Patreon-esque type subscription service, but we're not going through Patreon just because I don't want to take the hit from their like 3% or whatever they take. So I just want to take it all. And that will go towards like paying the artists. Like if we don't get anything from that, like, okay, but like I'm trying to actually get money for that instead, so I don't have to use my own paychecks, because I'm trying to like save for a house and other stuff. But yeah, so we're gonna try that with this Ink 2 that's coming out next year. So
you're doing a game as well, aren't you? Like, I mean,
yep, yeah, that's next year. We're doing a lot, but the game is Kickstarter. Like we're gonna just try to do a comic book with this first to see how that goes, and then we're gonna release stuff on the website under that paywall thing. That's like content that I won't even post on social media. I post every day if I can. There's probably like 2 days out of this entire year that I don't. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, I just think, you know, like you've obviously got, you know, something, you know, to be able to like diversify into like, you know, gaming, and like with the game, like what sort of genre is it you're going to be going for? Have you settled on like is it going to be like an open world thing? Is it going to be like, okay, so there you go, straight away.
Yeah, it's going to basically be like, so the game is a derivative of the 3D map we were building for the city anyways. So we were trying to build a 3D map of the city so we could like send like, hey, here's the corner we want. Can you draw this in a panel, right? Like here's the 2 businesses that are on that corner. Can you draw that, right? And from that, we were like, you know, we could just repurpose this into a game. And we ended up first we were going to build the game based on the story, and then we were like, oh, what if we like, you know, add some of this other stuff on the side and you're like a side character. And now it's its own thing where it's in our universe, but it's not directly tied to the story, but there's stuff that happens in it that will affect the story and stuff in the stories that'll affect the game. So like right off the bat in the first comic, a building gets blown up and that building will be destroyed in the video game. Right. And then in the video game, some guy might, you know, like we have a serial killer we want to introduce, and that guy is going to end up in like the newspaper clippings that we put in the beginning of our comics. So in the beginning of our new comics, we're going to have this these 2 pages of newspaper. So like it's going to be like as if you're like going through the newspaper and then starting the story.
That's cool, man. I like the way you're able to meld it all together, because I love like continuity, you know, within like a universe. So I feel like Halo games, for instance, I don't know if you like know the rest of their like expanded lore and stuff. Like I really love all of that extra added up stuff, you know, that you don't necessarily have to know about it, but like when you like something, it's cool to be able to get that extra lore, you know, that extra detail.
I was gonna say that's like the story, and the reason people love that is because it's like even more back end to the original story. And like I just watched like the newest one, and there's just like these little nods where you're just like, oh, that's awesome. Like that's, you know, just those cool little Easter eggs, and knowing something, like just knowing what other people don't about a universe you're interested in, like just helps build fandom into whatever that is. So like we have a bunch of Easter eggs that we have built into the comic that they won't come to fruition for like, you know, a dozen comics. Like, you know, like you won't see much about it. You'll just keep seeing it. You'll be like, what is this thing I keep seeing? Like, well,
that's the thing. I think sometimes, I mean, I don't know if everyone, you know, when they write or, you know, release, you know, some sort of creative endeavor, think about that. But like you just said there, like everything you do, everything you kind of tee up, it all, like, you know where it's going, you know all these little like things, how they link together and how it all sort of weaves. And I don't know, like same with like, obviously like I know thankfully where my comic's going, but yeah, like, you know, having all those things just, you know, come together at the right point, there's something so satisfying about it, you know, like when you're able to, it's brilliant.
When I was just writing those tables for like
the crossovers.
No, just like when I was writing the tables out for like the future issues, like up to 12, because like the whole first story arc of the Seer Chronicles is technically 12 issues. We could technically split it into 4 story arcs, I guess, but it's still one story in the first story, like main story. And while I was writing all of those like things out in the table, I was just like, oh, I can't wait to do this and this, because this is like this one moment at the end that's just like we actually acted it out like a year ago, and I just,
it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, like 2 years ago. I was like, oh my god, I just like I can't wait to do that.
Yeah. Well, with the game, obviously you said open world. Is there any sort of game, like, I know, you know, it might be maybe too ambitious to begin with, but is there any sort of game that you're kind of like, if you could make it like said game, that you would be going for that sort of aesthetic or look, or?
It's probably like, if the visuals would look like Grand Theft Auto because it's built on the same engines. So it's got those types of visuals where it's funny because now that I think about it, the gameplay reminds me more of like the old Spider-Man game, in the sense of like there's a bunch of random missions you kind of complete throughout the time, and then there'll be like main ones that happen. So I'm talking about like PlayStation 1 Spidey, like the old Spider-Man games. So like that, not because you're swinging or anything. You're not, like, you're normal people in the game, but you're like, you know, it could be like a cop and you're following a series of crimes and you're trying to figure out where this thing is going. And then like right off the bat, there's like 3, like I think we have 3 regular like citizens that you're doing stuff. And then I think we even have like a bonus thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to share it. Yeah.
You can.
Well, another one is I think we're actually going to have like a bad guy that you're going to be able to be.
Okay, you can't really share that.
Oh man, busted, man! What are you doing?
Nah, he's just like,
No, I kind of like said it yesterday when we did our little video game thing that I wish was a little more planned. So we have these 2 characters that people can be in the beginning, and then once you complete those 2 stories completely, because there's in total 9 missions, there's 8 missions that everybody will be like, oh, well, where's the 9th one? And that will be the unlockable one. And then that's not just the whole like video game right there. Like after you complete the unlockable one, there's something else that unlocks. And then after that, there's more story like that we're going to keep updating. So like keeping the subscription on our website is like definitely key, because that will help us pay to make more game. And if that can pay instead of us having to go to Kickstarter every single time, then okay, maybe we'll use Kickstarter for like another huge update. But like we're going to just keep adding missions like as much as we can. And you know, I want to pay Scott, my friend that makes the game, and I'm also trying to learn myself. I started learning. I figured it out. The thing I was trying to do for months, I was trying to figure out how to upload.
donut.
What?
No, sprinkles to the donut.
On Unity, I was trying to upload the city because it's in a whole other city. It's from our Comic Inc. I was trying to upload that onto like the scene in Unity. I was like, how the hell do I do this? And I just clicked on it like above, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, Scott, look, I figured it out. He's like, yeah, there you go. I'm like, okay, so what do I do next? And he's like, he didn't answer me.
I mean, if you know what you're doing, like, you know, with when it comes to like making the game, I take it you're both gamers as well then?
Yeah, he's a little more. I used to be like way more, but yeah.
What's like, I don't know, give me like a quick top 3.
I'm more like what's it called? Competitive stuff. So like I like Rocket League, Call of Duty, things like that.
Breath of the Wild, GTA, Assassin's Creed. I have an Assassin's Creed tattoo, so that kind of like sets like.
I love watching like the RPGs. So, like my brothers played all the God of Wars, and I kind of just watch them play them because it's like watching a movie. And then Assassin's Creed and Arkham and Kingdom Hearts.
And this is our next guest.
Hey, Austin.
Hey, guys.
So yeah, Adam, where can people like find you?
Well, either in London, but obviously there's like 7 odd million people here, so it might be a bit difficult. You can find us on all the normal places: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just if you search the Secret Protectors, hopefully would be the first thing that comes up, I'd hope. Instagram's probably where we update the most. Facebook I use a little bit, but like I said, kind of like with the email thing, like unless I've kind of got something to say or post, I don't know, I'm really lazy. I'm just not really a social media person at the best of times. Like myself, I don't like post anything ever. And it's not because like I don't know, I don't know, it's just not for me. But yeah, anytime we've got comic stuff to put up, obviously, you know, I have to kind of crawl out of my like hermit shack and obviously start posting. So yeah, Instagram's the best place. But if you go on the Instagram, for anyone that would care, you can download issues 1 and 2 for free. There's a link on our Instagram. You just have to sign up for our mailing list, and you can download issues 1 and 2 for free. And you know, read it. And if you hate it, then send me an email and tell me why you hate it. That's fine. Like I genuinely like the you know, enjoy the feedback. And if you like it as well, you know, then maybe you can support us in the future if you want to pick up future issues.
Sweet. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, and
yeah, thank you for having me. I just got to work out how I leave now. Oh yeah, there's a button there.